The ultimate in sports destinations, plays host to the ultimate in youth volleyball talent with teams from around the country and around the world. Today, these AAU stars hope to dig deep, proving to themselves and their clubs what it takes to be champions. Welcome to the 44th Girls Junior National Volleyball Championships. All right, it may be called AAU Junior Nationals, but we also play for a World Championship. That's the match on deck. Asics Munciana gets ready for Club Dominican Republic as the summer of 2017 continues to bring thrilling moments and plays from the ESPN wide world of sports. Welcome inside our state-of-the-art studio, Drew Felios alongside Missy Whittemore. Both of these teams have been through emotional matches, but especially Munciana, the team from Muncie, Indiana. Now they've got to play one of the most talented teams in the world. What do you expect to see in this match, Missy?
Interestingly, their coach told us that prior to that last match, he didn't feel like they had played very well this entire tournament. So the question is, are they peaking at the right time? I really think they're going to need top performances out of several of their key players to hold their own against the DR.
All right, they have been able to turn it up a notch every time they have been tested over the past week. Let's take a look at the road here to this World Championship for Asics Munciana. This has not been an easy road. Look at that last match, 15-10 in a third set to take down Mizuno Sports Performance, but this is a team accustomed to stepping up their game when it matters most.
This is a very athletic team. That is what they're known for. They're also grounded in ball control, and those are going to be the two keys for them to have success here today.
They have so much talent on their roster, especially Megan Miller, number 6, going to Nebraska. Aaliyah Wells, also number 7, headed to Alabama. Look at the rest of the players for Asics Munciana. Also, Nia Parker Robinson, number 11, huge in that match in the 18 and under final. Also, Rachel Klitzing, a force at the net. And their head coach is Michael Lingenfelter, and it is his demeanor that I think is huge in their success.
You know, we really enjoyed listening in on his timeouts. Several times we heard him talk to his players about the fact that he trusts them. He gives them really good advice, but takes some input from them at the timeouts as well.
The Dominican Republic, meanwhile, they have been overpowering over the past week. What makes this team such a juggernaut, Missy?
Well, you see, they're undefeated up to this point in the tournament, just like Asics. This is a high-flying volleyball team. They understand how to play power ball, but they had such nice awareness of the court in their match leading up to this one. Really placed their tip shots well and scored a lot of points on the off-speed.
Keep an eye on number 4, Peralta. She is so effective for Dominican Republic. Also 12, Guillen, and 15, Perez. Effective. They have so many different weapons to choose from, and they are coached by Christian Cruz Zapata. This is a coach that's a little bit fiery. He's kind of a contrast to Lingenfelter on the other side.
He is, and they played from behind in their match prior to this one, but they stayed very calm, and then they made a charge at the end, and he's a chargey sort of coach, so I think we'll see a lot of fire from him here today.
So when we come back, the best from Indiana taking on the best from the Dominican Republic. The World Championship match around the corner.
When you run Disney, every mile is magic. Marathon and half marathon races through the Disney theme parks are waiting for you at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida and Disneyland Resort in California. Known for courses lined with Disney entertainment and the best finisher medalers around, Run Disney events are a must-do for veteran runners and newcomers alike. For more information, visit rundisney.com.
My bad. I'll just sit over here. It's all right.
Win one MVP.
It's time for a little NFL football, and nothing says football like a Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. How about that?
I'm going to Carolina in my mind right now.
I think Ron Rivera is going to be happy with that.
Go the distance with Disney and the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Florida by training or competing in one of the many track and field events hosted here annually. From Disney Track and Field Spring Training to the Walt Disney World Cross Country Classic to Disney Track and Field Showcase. Get ready for your season or get noticed by any of the numerous college recruiters in attendance. Check out DisneyTrackandField.com for more information. Disney soccer tournaments sponsored by AS Roma provide athletes of all ages the opportunity to compete against athletes from across the U.S. and around the world. From 3-on-3 youth tournaments to elite showcase events with hundreds of college recruiters present, the ESPN Wide World of Sports soccer program offers something for everyone. To find out how you can play here, visit DisneySoccer.com. Disney soccer tournaments sponsored by AS Roma provide athletes of all ages the opportunity to compete against athletes from across the U.S. and around the world. From 3-on-3 youth tournaments to elite showcase events with hundreds of college recruiters present, the ESPN Wide World of Sports soccer program offers something for everyone. To find out how you can play here, visit DisneySoccer.com. When you run Disney, every mile is magic. Marathon and half marathon races through the Disney theme parks are waiting for you at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida and Disneyland Resort in California. Known for courses lined with Disney entertainment and the best finisher medalers around, Run Disney events are a must-do for veteran runners and newcomers alike. For more information, visit rundisney.com.
International champion and 18 and under champion set to duel here on center court at the HP Fieldhouse. See Munciana in the far court. And you also see Club Dominican Republic in the red and navy blue on the right side. As we'll be playing with AAU rules here this afternoon. Best of 3 sets, rally scoring to 25 points. If we go to a third set, we'll play to 15, and you have to win by 2. So Muncie, Indiana, put to the test. This is a very talented group of young ladies. They're definitely going to be outsized here this afternoon. So how can they somehow find an edge, Missy, against this imposing Dominican team?
This Asics team said we have to try to play fast. And that means they have to have good ball control, get the ball in their setters' hands. And what they like to do is run the ball down the middle as much as possible. They utilize their middle more than most teams. Even if it's not a kill, they like to create confusion defensively on the other side of the net and not allow them to transition well. So that will be key for Muncie.
And for Dominican Republic, this is a team that sometimes tends to have some lapses because they are so talented and sometimes everybody not on the same page. What do they have to focus on here?
You know, they came into their match against China earlier today for that international championship, and they were actually pushed. You know, they were undefeated up to that point in the tournament, but they fell behind and had to play from behind for most of that first set. So I'll be interested to see how they take the court here in this set one, if there's a little more urgency on their side of the net.
See number 1, Feliz Senna for Dominican Republic. There you see number 11, Nia Parker-Robinson. She is going to be huge for Asics Munciana. If they want to win, she has got to do her thing. And all smiles right now, very relaxed. The team from the United States. Peralta, a big key for Dominican Republic. Let's play some volleyball and find out who our world champion is going to be. Dominican Republic. Don't get a good first swing. Perez is the setter. Parker Robinson, first kill for Muncie.
And the key there is that early on, Muncie is able to handle the tip shot over the block. And instead of allowing it to go over our head and give it to the defense, I like the way that Muncie blocker just plays it up with one hand.
Another good dig. That was Hughes getting on the deck. Hughes getting the start here this afternoon. And now Parker Robinson, another swing, another kill. She's 2 for 2.
What impresses me most about Parker Robinson is that she'll take 2, 3, sometimes 4 swings within one rally, but she is so low error. And typically young players who don't kill the ball in the first swing, or definitely the second swing, they either tie her down and make an error, or they try to do something that they're just really not good at. But she is so patient and consistent. I really like the way she plays.
Now the block sends back Peralta. She gets a second swing. And Indiana goes to work again. How about number 3? Already a hat trick here. 3 points, and they're all to Parker Robinson.
And the key for this Indiana team is to score points with Parker Robinson in the front row. She'll be across the front row these first 3 rotations, and then she'll rotate to the back court. And we saw them have lapses offensively when she wasn't on the floor, so they really want to put points on the board right now.
Defense really clicking early on. That's going to be the first point for the Dominican, as Parker Robinson got caught behind the antenna there. Serving was a huge issue in the first matches for both of these teams. Which team serves better is really going to be key in the outcome. Parker Robinson takes a little bit off it. Perez comes up to set, and another tap right over. Surprised Dominican so far has not been able to get a clean look. Meanwhile, Johnny Parker scores.
Johnny Parker, the Penn State commit, still has a year left of high school. She's class of 2018, and what a talent she is on the right side.
All but 2 of these players from Asics Munciana are committed to play big-time college volleyball. And this is the first block of the match, as Gonzalez got up high that time.
We talked about the fact that size-wise, the DR seemed to have the advantage, and you see there with Gonzalez across the front row what sort of damage her block can do.
Ball barely makes its way over the net. Perez, nice set that time. It is down and in, and that's Peralta once again.
Starting to get a good look at the high flyers from the DR, not just from the lefty antenna, but here they utilize that right antenna as well, and that is a beautiful set. She puts it right in the window where her hitter, Peralta, has the ability to swing down the line.
Defense breaks down for the moment. So now all tied at 4. Yocati Perez Flores serving for Dominican Republic. One of the unsung heroes. Parker Robinson can't put it down. Gee in the dig back row. Now the soft tick. Perez again. Parker Robinson this time sent back. How about a good shot by Megan Miller keeping that one alive. But eventually that's going to go down as Peralta just got too many chances.
Parker Robinson, so successful early, but I think now Muncie is going to have to switch it up a little. They can't continue to expect her to swing against 2 big blockers on the outside. They got to go back to their quick game down the middle.
4 points in a row now by the Dominican. Muncie trying to break that string. It's a good way to do it. That's Alasia Young. She is going the junior college route, the only player going to South Idaho JUCO. We'll talk a lot about junior college volleyball, Missy, but that is an alternative road to get to the big time, isn't it?
It certainly is, and I think lots of times you'll see international players take that road, or players who have just started playing the sport of volleyball late. Maybe they grew up playing another sport, they make the transition late. Coaches see a lot of potential in them, but they're still raw, and that can be another reason that players choose to go that JUCO route.
Another kill by Peralta. 6 serving 5. First set world championship. And very slowly, Dominican Republic starting to really hit their stride. Up front, Guillen is such a force. Klitzing gets it over. Now play top of your screen. So many weapons. Guillen able to hammer away as Munciana can't keep it off the deck.
And if this becomes a game of high balls to the outside antennas where the block has time to just camp out and wait on the swing, DR is going to be in the driver's seat. This Muncie team has got to keep the game a little quicker, faster, utilize their athleticism down the middle.
Got to utilize those weapons. This one goes wide as Klitzing that time went against the block, and sometimes if you're swinging against that for the first time, it can be a little intimidating, right, Missy?
Oh, it certainly can. That's size and power across the net. Until you've seen it FaceTime, real time, right in front of you, you don't really know what you're dealing with.
Klitzing, and do we have a net violation? I get some substitutes now into the match. So it is a side out for Asics Munciana, trailing by 3. First set. Miller, good job in that back row, and this is easy pickings for Klitzing.
And that's Parker utilizing the strength, which is just the speed of their offense down the middle. Parker, number 9 from Muncie, and Shaftmaster, who wears number 5, are sort of interchangeable parts as they play setter across the back row and then stay in and attack from right front across the front row. So those two players very much part of the glue of this Muncie team.
That's a big block right there by Shaftmaster. Don't get a lot of celebration because they are trailing, but this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's a huge right side block. This is a player who also has the ability to set, so such a well-rounded girl.
And another point goes back to the Dominican Republic. This Asics Munciana team, Coach Lingenfelter said that they had not played their best, Missy, going into that 18 and under championship. They elevated their play against Mizuno Sports Performance. But if he can get that best performance that he has been looking for all season, if it comes in this match, what a cherry on the sundae it would be for this club.
Yeah, they're going to need a few of those players who don't typically give them large numbers to really step up and have bright games. Hughes has been a player for them over the course of this tournament who's done that. Obviously, we've seen the production out of Parker Robinson. I think particularly in this match, we're going to have to see some swings down the middle and some production down the middle for this team. Right here is a good look at what it looks like when they're clicking on all cylinders down the middle. Klitzing there has the ability to swing fast. She just has a whip of an arm.
Dominican, their lead trimmed to 1. Megan Miller just playing awesome defense in that back row. And another point. This one goes to Hughes. All tied at 10.
And when Parker Robinson is not across the front row, her counterpart Hughes will be swinging from the left side, and she's just as dangerous.
Very entertaining first set here on center court at the HP Fieldhouse. So many passers-by watching this great match. Truly the best in the world on the youth scene going head-to-head. How about that shot right in the corner pocket?
And again, that is that right side player, sets across the back row. We talked about the defense they get from the right side, and then you see from Parker a swing and a kill.
That's going to be a point for the Dominican, Feliz Sina. Pass was perfectly delivered. See, I believe the point is for the Dominican. Now they're going to receive. Yes, they will serve. So it is a point for Dominican.
A little confusion as the ball landed out of bounds, but it was definitely touched by the Asics block, and that's why the point goes to the Dominican.
Now the Dominican get back into system. Miller again handling it on seemingly every single sequence. Oh, big time. Guillen Paredes throws down the hammer.
Nice high reach from the antenna again. We see those balls set out to the antenna. That time a little faster tempo though. And you see how the defense just does not have time to respond.
Both these teams showing their best cards here in the first 25 points. Miller again comes up, makes the dig, and I'll tell you what, right now, Klitzing could be kind of that X factor because it doesn't look like Dominican has found out how to solve number 12.
I think you're right, and I think it comes down to the fact that as their coach preached to them in their prior match against Mizuno, you don't necessarily have to hit it hard down the middle, but it's so much about the speed of that offense, getting the ball across the net before the defense can set up, and typically, and also where you place the ball coming down the middle is just so important. They scored points against Mizuno in the same fashion.
Mishandled that time by Perez. And now 1-point lead for the Americans. Top of your screen now. This one dug back row by Peralta. And this one right down the middle. Dominican got that one from the back row. It was Feliz that time.
It's a great swing out of right back. She attacks the ball with such force. You almost think she's a front row player, but notice from the back row, you have to jump from behind that 3-meter line, and she does.
This one sailing out. So several lead changes already in this match.
Hughes tries one of her own out of the back court for Asics. She comes right down the center of the court. It's a really nice swing, and I like how she goes for the corner, but too much on that one.
Jaime Maldonado, one of our officials here today. Now this one hit into the net, just did not get all of it. Johnny Parker couldn't handle it, and we're gonna have our first timeout here as Muncie, Indiana will talk things over. Jaime Maldonado, our first official. Let's listen in.
Could have gone down some and still made that play. The place where the game's being won, I don't know if you jokers are understanding it. We're hitting 1,000 in the middle. 1,000, which is code for if the middles are there, give them a shot. It's setter side is wide open. They're bunching in. Everybody creeping into a circle real tight to the net. Anything deep is going to score. You're better than these guys. Believe it or not, you're better than these guys. Let's go.
Shot of confidence there from Coach Michael Lingenfelter. Very straightforward, very direct. You know, does not get nervous, doesn't try and send messages. It's straight talk. I'll tell you what, Missy, if I had a daughter and she was a superstar player, I'd want her to play for Michael Lingenfelter. He is tremendous.
I completely agree. And also the information that he gives is just so pertinent. As a player, you're in the middle of it, and you honestly don't realize, whoa, we haven't missed down the middle. We're hitting 1,000. Wow, I mean, we need to work the middle. But when you're out there in the middle of it all, you can lose sight of that. So notice, not only do they hear him, they put it into practice. Several balls to the middle right there.
And notice the pep in the step right now for this team from Muncie. Miller, another dig. She has been a dig machine so far. And Parker able to score. So out of the timeout, Asics Munciana able to score.
But understand that the balls to the middle help create this, because now the middle blocker has to stay home just a little bit longer. She isn't able to release so quickly to the antenna, but that's a really nice swing there from the right side.
This one's going to be blocked, but blocked out of bounds, and it'll be a kill for Peralta.
Good timing on that block as they're starting to figure out the attack. Blocking often happens in bunches, and often it comes later in the match, because until you've really played across the net from someone, you've got to figure out their timing, and that takes a little bit of seeing it in real time. And I think as the match goes on, you'll see more blocks.
Another kill for Peralta. She settles in across that front line. She can be really, really dangerous. She's a player who can certainly take over a match. 17-14, and this one served into the net. Rosario will head out for Dominican. This is Johnny Parker. And into the net, so 17-16 now. Is had a fun time with the Chinese team about an hour ago up here in the studio. These international teams taking in the scenery and the experience here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. Dominican Republic, they have been great representatives as well. But they are looking for a world championship, and a win over Asics Munciana would be sweet. Parker Robinson feeling it, and that part of the court was wide open.
And just when that offense starts to go a little flat for Muncie, here she comes back into the front row, and an immediate injection of power and of emotion as well. I think they ride her emotion just as much as they ride her arm.
Sent back, second try, up against the net. And it's going to be a point for Dominican.
The ball comes back so fast, I think she takes a swing at that when Gonzalez does from the ground. Just an awkward look as she catches a piece of the net.
18 all, that point actually awarded to Munciana. So we play on. Feliz had to go to the tip. Parker Robinson takes a step back. Right side, and the block is on. How about Parker Robinson?
That's a huge point for Muncie, because Parker Robinson was actually backing up off the court when she took a rip at the ball. Not a good look for them. They're just trying to keep the ball in bounds. And then she comes right back up to the net and responds with defense and scores a point for her team defensively.
I have a feeling this match is going to go right down to the wire. Both of these teams starting to really step up their game and try and find the other's weakness. Peralta now will serve. Nice dig. Now a good chance at a swing for Muncie. Klitzing couldn't put it down. Ravenel, her first swing of the match. Jorge, good job defensively by Dominican. Klitzing again. Now they go for that corner, and it's successful.
You know, that is really just the athleticism we expected to see from Asics. They're not conventional. They just play hard. They play gritty. They said they're blue collar. We grind it out. And I really liked the setting choices in that long rally. We saw hits from all along the net.
Let's sing a force up front right now at the moment. That grazes the corner. How about the shot from Greer Hughes, the future Arizona State Wildcat? Timeout, Club Dominican.
Pasada, ¿dónde sacaron? Ahí en dos, ¿verdad? Entonces tú estás parada así, viene, pan, un palo para el otro lado. Prepárate para recibir. ¿Quién ten uno? Sosó. Habla con ella, dile, déjala que yo la cojo, yo la recibo ahí. Pero seguimos fallando contraataque, uno contra uno, tan, para el bloqueo, cruzado. Ahora recibe una bola fácil, pan, un palo para acá y viene Katy como una loca, volea para atrás, no llega a dos.
Hay dos colocadores na cancha. Então o oi na primeira colocadora, ela recebe, a outra coloca para quatro e mata nas outras. Dá o oi em quatro para ir pro quinto, em quatro.
Well, Christian Cruz Zapata, courtesy of our translator in the studio, Rafael Mejia. Serve receive has got to be better, got to work together as well. Teamwork right now is not doing its job. That's the message from coach to players at the moment.
And you understand why when they're in system, they've really had their way at the antennas. So if they can control the ball, get the ball in their setter's hands, we've seen how effective their offense is.
Jorge Ubiera, good serve. Swung by Hughes. Dominican with the tap. Keep it off the floor. Asics Munciana, and the kill by Hughes again. All of a sudden, Greer Hughes has found the touch.
Hughes has been a really important piece of the puzzle for Muncie in this tournament. A key factor. I think they expect the big numbers from Parker Robinson. Teams are prepared for her, but when she rotates off the front row, you think maybe you can take a deep breath, and that's just not the case with Greer Hughes across the front.
Blitzing again, a force at the net. Careful they don't get a double hit there. Keep it off the ground. Perez the dig, and Dominican just not getting good swings at the moment. Hughes again. Disarray right now by this Dominican team, but that time able to score off the tip.
And this Dominican team used the tip very effectively earlier today against China. We haven't seen much of it against Muncie. I think Muncie is known for their defense and picking up those balls. But as the match goes on, I think mixing in a few tip shots is wise.
Unforced error for Dominican Republic, side out. Muncie, Indiana. So Feliz with an error there. She's not going to be happy with herself after that. And again, we mentioned sometimes the lack of focus. I think sometimes you're seeing that in this first set from the Dominican.
This is a long tournament and a long day right here.
Hey, vamos, como empezamos, con la actitud que empezamos, no bajes la cabeza. Hey, ¿cuántos hoyos hemos tirado? ¿Cuántos han caído? Entonces, agresividad, vamos a pegar alto y duro.
You stay disciplined for 2 points, you're going to get this first set.
On the other side, stay disciplined for 2 points. They know that they're on the verge of closing out this set. That'd give them a huge edge.
Yeah, notice he said we'll get this first one, and everyone knows what a huge advantage that is.
Dominican back to work. It's a big swing by Guillen Paredes. 23-22. Guillen now back to serve. Several lead changes. Back and forth we have gone in this first set of the World Championship. Kept alive by Asics Munciana. They're going to go to Hughes. Dug again. Dominican, couple nice digs. Asics doing the same. Hughes can't put it down. Big one coming right there from Peralta.
For Asics, Hughes does a nice job staying within herself, keeping the ball in play, not trying to do too much. But Peralta gets perhaps a little better look at the antenna out there on the left side, and she doesn't hold back. She puts it away.
23-all. Who's going to get the first set point of this match? Blocked at the net, kept off the ground. Ubiera, great job by the Dominican. Hughes does the same. Now she'll get a swing, and it's long. So realizing the moment, the importance, Asics Munciana wants a timeout.
The more stacked the block is, that's a really difficult ball. Make the difficult set. This isn't about you, it's about us. That was a cowardice ball. That ball's got to come here or go there. That's brutal for her. I said it when it was set. Now those points that I just talked about, where you just kind of jacked around, we didn't take care of business, you owe me one right here. Have a plan coming out and get to work.
So Asics Munciana, they've played some of their best volleyball in the first set. They would hate to let this frame get away, but Dominican turning it on at just the right time here with their first set point. Not the swing they were looking for, but they get a break. And Asics Munciana ties it at 24. Hughes will head back now to serve.
Several right side swings for Asics have not been hard hit, but so well placed as they've used the corner well.
That's long. So Peralta can't come through, and now a set point for Asics Munciana, their first of the match. Blocked at the net. How about Asics Munciana? Johnny Parker right there to make the play. And that is how we end a thrilling first half and first set of action from center court. Asics Munciana 26-24. Set number 2 coming up from center court after this.
Disney Field Hockey Showcase is the premier event for the nation's fastest growing sport. With over 100 college coaches in attendance, female high school athletes can contend for scholarships on the national stage. To find out how your team can compete here, visit DisneyFieldHockey.com. Hundreds of high school and college teams maximize their preseason training by heading to the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at Walt Disney World for our annual Disney Lacrosse Spring Training, featuring clinics and combines with Casey Powell. Preparation and competition at the finest multi-sport facility in the world will help ensure your squad's success throughout the season. For more information, visit DisneyLacrosse.com. The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida has emerged as the pinnacle of youth tournament travel, catering to the needs of the entire family. We offer a complete line of solution-oriented products and services to address the complex needs of teams on the road and the team parents who support them. To find out how to achieve vacation victory, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
A hard-fought first-set victory for Asics Munciana as they win 26-24 over the Dominican Republic in the first set of the World Championship. Let's take a look at the numbers up to this point. Break it down for us, Missy.
This one goes into overtime, so you'd expect the numbers to be pretty similar, but honestly, Asics with 4 more kills, pretty impressive what they were able to accomplish offensively in that first set.
Nia Parker-Robinson came out swinging for the team that won the 18 and under championship. She had that monster performance against Mizuno Sports Performance, and right now she's just playing at the top of her game.
You know, they asked their outsides to carry a very heavy load, but Nia Parker-Robinson didn't seem to mind. Guillen on the opposite side of the net going to work for the DR, and then you get a nice look at Hughes, the other outside there for Munciana. Lots of swings from the antenna, but so rewarding for Muncie to end this one on a block, because those blockers can work hard every play throughout a match and may never register that stuff block. So to end the set with that hard work is really rewarding.
Nia Parker-Robinson right there, headed to Northwestern. She's the emotional leader of this Asics Munciana team. They've already accomplished a national championship, but going for more here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. Underway in set number 2. Hope you're enjoying it. Drew Felios and Missy Whittemore, the former Florida Gator. First point goes to the Dominican as Peralta hammers away again. Peralta number 4 and Guillen number 12 have been doing most of the work offensively for Dominican Republic.
That was a good look at Peralta's nice long arm swing. Has a high contact point, allows her to swing for the corners.
Nice set and nice put away that time as Aaliyah Wells gets her second point of the match. Johnny Parker, the only player headed to Penn State on this Munciana roster. How about this jump serve? Oh, how about that? Peralta says you ain't seen nothing yet.
And if we thought the first swing was good out of Peralta, the second one, wow. This is impressive. This time she turns on it down the line. Lots of power in that swing.
Not a lot of emotion from Peralta throughout the last 2 matches that we've seen her. Parker-Robinson, the other side of the spectrum. She brings all the emotion. How about that dig by Megan Miller? She is just showing out. I'm telling you, if we can see that again, Miller number 6 makes just a phenomenal dig at it.
Miller will be playing volleyball at the University of Nebraska in just a few short years. And I tell you what, she is the one that keeps that ball alive and allows for the big swing down the line to finish by Parker-Robinson.
That was top shelf for sure. Right now, they're gaining confidence. Shaftmaster, another point. You know, you just look at these American players physically, it doesn't look like they're up to par with the Dominican Republic. They're doing it right now with teamwork, with energy, and just basic enjoyment and passion of being here.
Those are certainly the strengths of this Asics team. I think that's what got them to the finals, got them a championship, and put them in this position.
See that so many times in sports where hard work and energy and enthusiasm can overcome talent. And of course, I think we still have energy, a lot more to come from this Dominican team, but just at the moment, it looks like that is kind of the story. Missy, would you agree?
Well, and I think volleyball, maybe more than any other sport, such a sport of momentum. We see huge momentum swings in this sport, and then to take the first set can just be a huge momentum boost and how you come out on the floor in that second set. And I think Asics did a good job of carrying that momentum from that set 1 victory here into this second set. And they've, you know, here they sit with this 2-point lead and a great job transitioning from defense to offense. Not only do they transition, but they transition to a fast tempo offense. That's when they're at their best.
How about the block there? Klitzing on top of it. Schaffmaster as well. So 12 and 5 teaming up.
Schaffmaster, just a rising junior in the class of 2019, is already committed to Minnesota.
6-3 now. And now 6-4. Any time that Asics Munciana feels like they're pulling away, a big swing comes from the other side. Just have a devastating attack. This is the MVP of this team. Vilka Peralta Luna. Legal touch that time to be a point for Dominican.
That was a difficult ball. The setter was backing up, not able to get stopped and make a play on that. And that's why you get the lift call. As you see, she was backing up along the net there, trying to get that ball to her middle, but she's got to get to the net a little faster.
So many changes of momentum up to this point right now. That momentum belongs on the Dominican side. Feliz, 3 straight points for Dominican Republic. It's 6-all.
There's a good look at just how intimidating Gonzalez is across the net as you saw her there in the middle for the DR. She's quite the presence.
This ball sailing long. Melanie Schaffmaster, one of a couple uncommitted players on this Asics Munciana roster. There's a kill by Guillen.
And as you mentioned, Drew, when it looks like the DR is in trouble, it's Guillen and Peralta who have consistently answered the call, as we've seen all those kills coming from the antennas, though a much different style than what we see from Asics, who obviously likes to swing from the antennas, but their strength is in their ability to mix it up and also to transition down the middle.
Look at the service errors, 5-1. Dominican Republic leads. That's not a category you want to lead. Softly now, Miller able to get the dig. Go to the other side. Asics Munciana getting on the deck often. I'll tell you what, anytime they're aiming for that back line, they have been pinpoint swinging that way.
But this is another Asics point that you have to credit to the defense. Megan Miller there in middle back makes a really nice play, and then out of left back, Asics gets another diving dig.
And just long. You know, is it tough sometimes, Missy, to recruit a defensive player like that? Because, of course, they can so quietly dominate a match. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, well, I think it can be, but when you see the play of Miller, and that was Peyton White there in left back for Asics, they set themselves apart. In those long rallies like that, to keep your team in it and allow your team not just to stay in it, but to actually transition in system. Those are just key players.
Dominican Republic able to get the touch that time. So it's 10-8. So we continue to go back and forth. Megan Miller wearing that green jersey for Asics Munciana. She's been so much fun to watch. Guillen now taps it over. Look at the teamwork for this Asics Munciana team. The movement, everybody getting involved, the communication right now just working. Aaliyah Wells, the latest point.
Wells down the middle that time. And the reason Asics, we've said this time and time again, but they have that success down the middle because they use it at the right time. They use it in transition when the defense is not ready and waiting for you, and it allows them to move balls quickly around the court.
There you see Coach Lingenfelter on one side. Schaffmaster digging in for Munciana. Another kill. This set up perfectly by Wells. And at what point, if you're Christian Cruz Zapata, do you start to make some adjustments, or do you start to get a little nervous, Missy, because it's second set now and your team has not been able to really get a hold of this match?
Yeah, you have to wonder if we've got a timeout coming, but then again, that last one goes to overtime, and he knows he doesn't want to use those timeouts too quickly.
A serve, and now the lead up to 4. And there it is. Just could feel it coming for Cruz Zapata. And interesting to hear the message on the sideline here. Let's listen in.
Ahí está. Por lo menos anula la salidora aquí, tíralo corto aquí. La colocadora se mete huyendo, tíralo largo para uno. Pamela, tú con 3 pies, ¿tú crees que tú puedes sacar rasante? Te para ahí, da un palo también. Yailin, un balón bueno, otro hoyo. Hey, vamos a ponerle agresividad en el ataque. Balón que suba, dale un palo para allá. Sí, Beba, pero ya ese balón ahí encima de la malla tiene que entrar a agarrar el balón.
Well, Coach Zapata preaching aggressiveness that time. He says, hey, we're just not going after balls. And I think he's right. His team looks a little bit sleepy right now. See if that can wake them up. It's a good start.
I like the set choice there. You might say, well, that doesn't look really aggressive. She just tipped it over, but a very aggressive set choice to trust her offensive attacker and to go ahead and set that slide. That's a tough play to execute. A lot of timing involved. So when players start getting a little careful and a little nervous, they go away from those plays. But I like the aggressive choice of the play there, and it does pay off.
Rodriguez into the game for her jump serve. They need better serving right now, and net violation that time. So Dominican Republic within 2.
The pass just a little tight for Muncie here. Obviously, they want to give their setter the opportunity to jump set, but you can see that one goes over the net, actually, and so that's going to be an impossible play there for Schaffmaster.
Megan Miller heads out. Another service error for the DR. Leah Wells will serve it now. You know, it is so important in this sport that you do the little things properly at all times, especially in games like this. Peralta able to score once again 14-12, but I think Dominican may need a few more weapons other than Peralta and Guillen. Peralta now with 10 kills for her team. Just a little bit better mixture by the Americans at this point. But there's the block coming into play, and again, it's Peralta.
And, you know, we heard coach from Muncie say to his team earlier, that was a brutal situation that you put your teammate in, and that's what he's talking about when it's too many sets to the same player in the same situation. That time Parker Robinson twice on the right side having to swing into a double block. We've seen that happen on the left side with some of the Muncie players. So he's encouraging them to spread it around and give your teammates the best possible look.
Feliz with the big stuff, and they have evened things 14 all as they've scored 5 out of the last 6 points.
I think it happened to maybe Greer. We set Nia on that ball. The middle is standing on you. That is a stupid set. You should have done something with the ball, but that is not the right set. Push the ball away from the flow of traffic. You know what I'm saying? The middle's already camped. There's too big and physical of a block to run people into them. We've got to get the middle going again in this game. You guys are about trust. You need to trust everybody to get us home, not just one guy.
Let's go! Samurai 3, 1, 2, 3. Samurai!
Very direct words from Coach Lingenfelter. Played his college volleyball at Ball State. Couple coaching stints in college at Cincinnati and Memphis. His team very well schooled, and they take his instruction perfectly. It seems like every time out of a timeout, Asics Munciana makes it count.
Yeah, and you know, as he addresses them, he's talking about the fact that we see the result being a bad attack from the left side. The left side attacker gets blocked, but he's putting that blame on his setters. He's got a couple of young setters, a rising junior and a rising senior, and he's really challenging them to make better choices. You know, you're going to have to make those players from the DR move a little. When you're swinging into the likes of Gonzalez, your teammates don't have a chance if you don't make her move.
Kept alive now by Miller. And there's the block again. All of a sudden, it has taken over this game. Gonzalez, the tallest player for the Dominican, sending it back. See, they're trying to manufacture some enthusiasm here, clapping their hands and getting into it as we're knotted at 15.
And we said one of the keys would be who has enough left in their emotional tank after days and days, long days of volleyball. Who would have the energy physically, but also emotionally, who would still have enough left in the tank.
This can be a legal touch. 2 times Back to the Dominican, and the DR has taken the lead. They were trailing 13-9 before that timeout from Cruz Zapata, and they have gone on a roll since. This is a 7-2 run for the Dominican Republic. There's a nice shot by Hughes to break the string.
That's a nice high ball to the outside to Hughes, and you know, another left side swing, but this one's well off the net. She has room to take a nice approach, so still a good situation for Hughes there.
This ball dug by Shaftmaster. And again, it'll be a point for Dominican.
The dig just too tight to the net, and so as Muncie goes up and tries to make a second contact on that, they're called for the net violation.
Jorge heads back now for the DR. Remember, they led late in the last set and nearly took it home, but Muncie, Indiana, able to get the critical points. Every point here on out, so important. Out the net. Klitzing plays it. Peralta to swing back row. Here's Hughes. Well, I'll tell you what, she has really been aggressive with those spikes in this set.
She's doing a great job just using a large cone of shots. You know, the defense isn't able to camp in on her. We've seen her use the corner, the line. She's really moved the ball around well.
That ball's going to sail long, just barely, but are we going to have a touch? Yes, I think we are here. It'll be a point for Dominican. (18 serving 17). Feliz with the jump serve. Another big block. The block has been a huge advantage to the Dominican.
Yeah, here, especially in this second set, this block for the Dominican has really taken over, scoring some quick points at the net, and this is against one of their really fast attacks down the middle, so a good job of getting those hands over quickly.
I love the fact that you chase the setter. What shot is available? You got 600 square foot of court over here. You're trying to squeeze it into that little zone. That middle is going to go with John, so the middle is camped on John, waiting for your transition. You swung into the guy waiting for you. Same thing we've talked about. Got to come back against the grain. You got to do the things you're afraid of right now to get out. The less afraid we are, the better we're going to be at the next level. Let's go.
Coach Lingenfelter encouraging his team to get out of their comfort zone. See if that message registers here late in set number 2.
Well, when you're down 2 points, you start to take some of the conservative shots because you don't want to make an error. An error not only is an error for you, but it's a point for the other team in the rally scoring game. And so you start to get real conservative in the shots you're willing to take. You start to just snap the wrist and roll the ball over the net, and that's not going to work against the DR.
Attacking from the middle. Guillen get another swing. Right now, Madeline Guillen playing at the top of her game. Dominican the first to 20.
Guillen right here, you see, is able to turn on this ball. Shoulders facing down the line, doesn't even swing across her body, so she has lots of power on that one.
3-point lead, best separation Dominican Republic has had in this set. Right now they're blazing away. And starting to close in on a second set victory.
And how quickly the tide can turn in this game of volleyball. And Muncie was looking really comfortable just moments ago, and now it's the DR full steam ahead.
Here's Guillen, red hot, serving it, or hitting it wide that time.
That's a much needed error for Muncie, and we'll see if they can take advantage of that to now score a point on their own volition, go back to the service line and earn one here.
And now much needed substitution. Nia Parker Robinson, number 11, checks in for Asics Munciana. There she is. See how much of a factor she could be here late in the set. And this is going to be blocked but out of bounds.
A nice close there by Wells up in middle front. But the DR on the outside taking advantage of those hands and just wiping the ball right off of those hands out of bounds.
Abigail Hughes, the Miami of Ohio recruit, comes in for Asics Munciana wearing number 14. Parker Robinson, quick point, and it's 22-19. So Parker Robinson with Ravenel, number 10, has been a little quiet here in this match. Aaliyah Wells also wearing number 7.
This is a really strong front line right now for Munciana. If they can take advantage of it and can spread the ball around, as their coach mentioned moments ago, don't just trust one player on your team. You got to trust them all. Use all those weapons across the front line. They're stronger if they use their numbers.
Hit through the block by Peralta.
And Peralta doesn't even give him a chance at offense there. She just finishes it up on the first swing, blasting one through the block. Not much of an approach, just kind of a two-step jump, and still just the great arm of Peralta on display.
What a job by Dominican, turning around this match. Looked like they were headed for a two-set sweep, but not the case here. And Peralta able to score again. And that block went down, hit the floor, and now it's 24-19. Set point, Dominican Republic.
And with that kill, we saw a bit of more of an emotional response from this DR team, who's really had to fight, I think, through just the tiredness and the length of this tournament.
Asics Munciana is going to have to figure out that block in set number 3 because it simply took over the match and it has extended it to a third set. Dominican Republic takes it 25-19. Third and final set coming up from center court after this.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex on the Walt Disney World campus in Florida holds a number of the nation's top cheer and dance competitions every year, including varsity, whose national cheer and dance competitions hosts up to 300 teams annually. Get your squad the recognition and title it deserves. Visit ESPNWWOS.com today for more information.
No! Bad dog! Outside! We've been through this. Disgusting.
Let your rising soccer star play and learn alongside greats of the game at Disney Soccer Academy. This unique camp experience features age and skill-appropriate coaching, along with daily interaction with superstars of the game. To find out how your child can participate, visit DisneySoccerAcademy.com.
Headed to set number 3 here at the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships. This with a world title on the line. Dominican Republic comes back. They were trailing 13-9 in the second set. Somehow managed to go on a monster run, win that second set, and now, Missy, we size up the numbers.
Well, even though DR has 6 service errors to only 1 for Asics, they still are able to pull out that second set. And I think the message the coach gives to the DR here is, hey, let's not beat ourselves. We're the ones giving away points. If we can control the number of points we give away, we're in a really good position.
Take a look at some of the highlights from set number 2. Asics Munciana comes out swinging with the big block that time by Feliz. The block making the difference. Parker Robinson did play well in that second frame, but Dominican Republic, they trailed by 4 at one point, able to come back, and it was that block that was just devastating.
It really was. Munciana's going to come back with a kill from Hughes here. She's able to find her way around the block of the DR that really controlled that second set. But Guillen with a nice shot down the line, and Peralta finishes it off as she blasts one through that Munciana block that hasn't had quite the same success that we've seen from the DR.
11 kills from Peralta. Seems like she's had 20 already. Also Guillen, so effective Got to credit Perez too. Just fabulous setting in that second frame.
And I think that for Munciana, the more predictable they are, the more blockable they are. And so I think they have to go back to trusting their team here. They've got to get production all across the net and out of all 6 attackers.
Here we go, final set. Miller keeps it alive. Wells couldn't put it down. Now from the back row, it's Guillen. Parker Robinson. Back row. How about that smash by Guillen?
And you sort of feel like the DR is just getting better as this match rolls on. They're starting to look really comfortable out there.
They're feeling it at the moment. And this crowd that seemed like it was pro Asics Munciana, a little bit silent right now and a little bit out of sync is Asics Munciana.
I think it was the DR who gave away too many points early in this match, whether it be from the service line or errors at the net. And now we see Munciana with some errors of their own. So one of the big stats the coaches are looking at on the bench, we see the points on the scoreboard, but only a certain number of those points are earned, and a certain number come off errors from your opponent. So you really want to reduce those number of errors so that you're not giving away points.
Now attacking from that left side, ring it up again. First 3 points of this set to Dominican Republic. Remember, just playing to 15, so it's a sprint to that digit, and Dominican with an edge.
So many players take the floor in that third set with the mindset of 3 mini games to 5. Let's be the first to 5, and then let's be the first to 10, and DR well on their way to being the first to 5 here.
Miller. And this is going to be just long. Oh, looked like that may have painted the line. But instead, Dominican with the point. And now a timeout is at hand for Asics Munciana. They've got to discuss things. Let's take one more look at this shot. Looked like, I thought it grazed the line. Ugh.
That's a tough one and a really important point.
People involved, you got to trust more. I trust at this point that you'll get me out of this mess. You're one run. You're avoiding a run from being right where I want to be. If you can run those guys down, we're good to go. Got to be very verbal in the middle of the court. The other thing that's happened is it got really quiet. It's just quiet. And that's usually a sign of fear or depression. We need neither. This should be a celebration. This is a celebration of you. Let's go.
And it's taken a lot of hard work to get to this point. This club has accomplished so much. Coach Lingenfelter's won 4 national championships here at AAU. But this such an imposing task. Challenging his team. Feliz trying to keep it alive. Dominican really getting defensive here. And a kill finally from Parker Robinson. That was a big one because Asics looked like they were a bit in a funk, Missy.
Yeah, and I think as Coach pointed out, this is a team that lives on emotion, and we've seen them go flat here. And so they need an infusion of none other than Parker Robinson maybe to get them back in step.
Well serving. Parker Robinson, they go to their leader to try and get him back in it. Peralta hits it wide.
An error from the DR, and now all of a sudden Muncie seems to be right back in this.
Lead cut in half now. Concentration from Peralta. This one's going to be way out. Service errors now. That's only the second of the match for Asics Munciana. Into the net this time. Parker Robinson kind of ran out of room there.
And that's a great example of talking about points earned and points earned off errors. Here's another error. After the service error, you see another error from Munciana giving away 2 points in a row. Against a team the level of the DR, that just can't happen.
Parker Robinson. along that front line right now. This ball kept alive, and finally a swing by Ravenel. She has not had many in this match, and finally a block from Asics Munciana. They say, hey, we can block too.
That's a little different look for Muncie to have Ravenel over there on the right side, where up to this point we've seen Parker or Shaftmaster, and so they try something a little different, the lefty on the right side, and it seems to work.
Ball barely put over. Parker Robinson can't score. Tipped by Parker. Ravenel again. Peralta, and that one's in.
Muncie just has not had much of an answer for Peralta. She is the complete player. Really nice approach, beautiful arm swing, long, high contact point, able to move the ball all around the court.
Big difference in this match has been Rachel Klitzing. She gets another kill. The middle blocker headed to Butler. Very impressive against a world-class Dominican team. Three points now separating these two clubs. Peyton White will chase it down, and now Dominican will play it. From the right side, Peralta once again.
She's such a master of her craft. We've seen so much of her ability to move the ball around, how well she places the ball, and then sometimes you just get a look at the raw power.
That is the 14th kill in a 3-set match. Last to 15, that is impressive. We're still not done yet either.
Exactly.
So 8-4 is the score, and time running out on Asics Munciana.
And of course, in this shortened third set, the first team to 8, they will switch sides of the court. So the delay here as the teams have switched sides, and the Dominican, however, will continue with the serve.
Coach Cruz Zapata, remember the timeout that he took when his team was trailing 13-9 in set 2. He laid into his team.
He did, and you could tell he was just waiting for them to respond. He sort of laid into them and then just stood there quietly looking at them, waiting for a response, and the response has come on the floor exactly where he wanted it.
Greer Hughes, another point. She's been the best offensive option for Asics Munciana today. Dug by Jorge. That's a missile from Guillen. Dug, and now Hughes can go to work, but this time the block is there once again. I'll tell you what, when Gonzalez gets in position, that is tough to hit over number 11.
Yeah, and that's exactly why Muncie just cannot be predictable. This is a beautiful dig. Push it to the outside, a really nice look for Muncie, you know, forcing the blocker to have to move. And you see the athleticism of Gonzalez. Not only is she long, but she's quick from side to side.
Guillen got up that time. And now 10-5. Another timeout for Asics Munciana.
Central y miramos si hay un cruce. Y aquí le estoy gritando. Jugamos cerrado. Si sale 4, cruza duro y cierra tu línea. Y Beba llega ahí de frente. ¿Ok? Hey, voleo. Esas mujeres no atacan tan fuerte para estar metiendo esa mano así. Tú puedes volear alto.
Sigue, sigue,
vamos.
sigue. Dominicana, seguimos.
Si sale para 4, te mueve.
I think Coach Cruz Zapata right now likes the demeanor of his team. I think right now it's just stay to the task. They are getting the block where it needs to be, Missy, and they have at the moment figured out this Asics team.
They have. Their block has really changed this match. As in set 2, it took over. And what happens is, as an attacker, you begin to try to adjust your shot. You get blocked once, twice, and you try to do something new. And the block is what really creates those errors that come after that. This ball hung up in the middle by Munciana, and they just hit a hard one down the middle, well off the net, and that ends up kind of being a really nice option for them because it takes the block out of play, and it's the block that's giving them so much trouble.
Boy, that velocity from Guillen, that is so tough to dig. I feel for Megan Miller. She has got to stand and take the onslaught of these kills coming right at her.
And oftentimes it's been against just one block, and so she's really had to step in there.
Now the slide run. And this ball's going to sail out of bounds. 12-6. Dominican Republic closing in on a world title.
And with that short set to only 15 here in the third, you start to run out of points if you're Munciana.
Waiting the celebration. Still 3 more points for the Dominican. Guillen, big swing. See if they go to her once more. They will. Miller sets it up. And Hughes taps it, but it's long.
This is a good idea when everyone is bunched up in the center of the court to just go ahead and send one deep over the defense. That long tip shot, really nice idea, just long.
See if Asics Munciana has one more push left in them. Guillen trying to close things. Now a shot from the back row. Swings all of a sudden. Not quality for the American team. The other side, the complete opposite. It is match point. Club Dominican Republic.
As this match is worn on, we see Dominican Republic completely in system, getting good looks every time. We see quite a few bump sets coming from Munciana, just not in control on their side of the net.
Back row now. Hughes hits it wide, and that is going to do it. Club Dominican Republic will celebrate a world championship here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. A slow start, but a whale of a finish. And the Dominicans, they earned it here this afternoon.
We said they were high flyers. We knew they'd have the offense at the net, but it was really the block, particularly in set 2, that turned the tide on this match and took over for the DR.
Kudos to the Dominican Republic. Peralta, number 4, and Guillen, number 12, along with the setter, Perez, leading the way. Also Gonzalez with the block, changing things in that second set. Hey, we got more volleyball to come. The 16 Open final at 5 o'clock, top of the hour, here on ESPN3 and seen throughout the complex as well. Until then, hope you enjoyed the World Championship match as the Dominican takes it 2-1 over Asics Munciana. AAU Junior National Championships roll on from the Walt Disney World Resort. For our entire crew inside the production center, for Missy Whittemore, the former Florida Gator, I'm Drew Felios. We'll see you at 5 o'clock for the 16th Open Championship.